make NEPA help us.
Okay,
I beg, make them just
we'll appeal to NEPA on the day when power is changing hands.
Yes.
Maybe NEPA too go change hands and change style
from tomorrow.
But, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Governor Wike's a special advisor on plenty nonsense in the studios this morning. The Sing Senator Alhaji Usman. Good morning,
Good morning, the number one president, the Senator of Nigeria and Africa on the radio.
You supported the governor of Rivers State from day one to the last day. How do you feel that is? Are you going with him back to Roma Precum, or are you going to stay here?
Number one, the only place I will be angry with all the support I don't football. The only place I will be angry is whenever he sees something they go wrong in no football, I go friend me.
So you like us? I think they always put mouth for everything.
That's the football. Now what in Nigeria want to? People who go when they hide them the football. If you come as I tell them say when them for as you tell them say na worry why everybody doesn't worry with that wo. Now is they go carry no for food for your mouth close down.
But the governor said that the incoming governor of River State is not going to behave like me. Don't expect him to act like me. Now that you said the governor likes to get involved in everything and anything, and see him is he's an accountant. He said then I don't like to talk plenty. Anyway, Governor Wike don't talk why you no go quarrel with him. You know what? Yeah. Just hold it a little bit. Let's go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, Governor Wike say, I love my just say I go quarrel with say I go quarrel. He said na only person when they greedy. Now he go wake up for morning go tell him wetin go do for morning. He said him no go do that kind thing. We'll go for a quick break. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, Niger said it already here on 97.7 FM. DJ Jama, formerly the clerk of the house. Let me inform you this morning. They go destroy you this morning. No, they say you can't be a clerk when you're not a senator. So you got fight to fight, all right? Today's the day of fight. I'll be right back.
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7.
You're listening to the hottest family station, Family Love 97.7 FM.
We all have a future we desire, a next level from where we are, a possibility that's better than today's reality, and our chances of achieving them as wide as our imaginations can go. Don't stop imagining now that you have a reason to.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Aproko Express. This one na Aproko Express. As e be say Nigeria don enter new era for inside of democracy. Aproko Express don come wey be democracy and good governance program where we dey give you informate on top of how Naija go well for news on top politics. May you join Frank Russell.
My people, my name na Frank Awaji Russell, or you call me MC Octopus.
And MC Douglas every Monday go reach Friday. Time 3:30 p.m. for your number one family station, Family Love 97.7 FM. Make you make am a date with us for Aproko Express.
See Aproko, anywhere you enter, somebody go know.
Make you say bye-bye to slow browsing speed and Yama battery when you buy the itel A60 smartphone. You get high-speed 4G network when go let you enjoy fast internet, 5000 mAh big battery for long hours of enjoyment, and 32GB of memory. Make you just enjoy the use on the go. For just 1,000 naira, you go get 1.5GB and 3.5GB free data from Airtel when you buy the itel A60 and activate them with Airtel 4G SIM card. Make you SMS get to 141 to enjoy this package. Itel. Enjoy better life.
Betway go carry you go new levels with one popular casino game wey they call Aviator. Yes, you hear me well. Aviator na the correct casino game wey go catapult you like aeroplane enter better winnings. To play Aviator, oh yeah, place your bet make you begin see the aeroplane fly fiam. Go higher. Then find the better time wey you go take cash out so you go fit win millions of naira. Hey, To win for Aviator, it's there for your hand, yo. Oh yeah, sign up today for betway.com.ng. Terms and conditions apply, shall. No be for person when never reach 18 years old. Make you the bet responsibly.
Why are you so excited with just one goal in this match?
That one goal is what I have been waiting for to cash out from BetWinner.
BetWinner? Abba Eric, you're not telling me things.
Sorry. See, go to m.betwinner.ng or the BetWinner mobile app now, and you will see all the goodies there. It will shock you.
That's right. BetWinner is your user-friendly bookmaker with high odds, easy navigation, easy deposit and withdrawal. Yes, there is no limit to the amount you can win on BetWinner. You can place a bet as low as 30 naira, deposit as low as 250 naira, and withdrawal as low as 550 naira without any charges. Now, hear this. If you deposit as low as 400 naira, you qualify for a bonus. How cool is that? Get on the winning platform today. Log on to m.betwinner.ng or the BetWinner mobile app and let the fun begin. You can bet on all sports, virtual games, and casino. But remember, you have to be 18 years and above to engage in betting. BetWinner, home of true winners.
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7.
You're listening to the hottest family station. Family Love 100% Love FM. 100% pure. We got the love. 97.7 Love FM.
Body they draw me like a bono. Body they rise in my tono. I say color your brocodo, no go taste locodo. Kelly they bossy my pololo. Can make a salute your comodo. Kelly if you balance Diego, I give you paper. No go do me Diego, my Maradona. Kelly fall up your sueto, na ma forisa. Kelly your back, keep it connected, and I can follow your Cresco. Tonight I'm the Cresco, pay for your waist, and I can pay for your lace, pay for your waist. Tonight I'm the Cresco, pay for your waist, I can pay for your lace, pay.
President, no be president. Now president was proper president. No be president when you go see now, he talk one thing, and after you go see he talk a different. No be that kind of president. We will carry out like the lesson trolley. They say they don't know who be president. No be this one. This one they fed. So me I get the hope say as what you Bola Tinubu he will do well for Nigeria. I get that hope because of the track record. See, if you fit through Lagos. If you feel Rivers, no, nothing will feel stop you will feel Nigeria. To be president, now president will be proper president. No be president when you go see now, he talk one thing, and after you go see he talk a different. No be that kind of president. We will carry out like the lesson trolley. They say they don't know who be president. No be this one. This one they fed. So me I get the hope say as what you Bola Tinubu he will do well for Nigeria. I get that hope. Because of the track record, see, if you fit through Lagos, if you feel Rivers, no, nothing will feel stop you will feel Nigeria. Yeah, nothing will mention not support me to be governor. You don't support me with them. You don't support me to be governor. Before I call governor, they are no good. In there for another party, I there for another party. Anybody with a good problem, like you talk about person who was my successor. What did you make us correct? Now people were too greedy. God don't help you, don't become governor for 8 years. If you come out, what do you every morning? You want to go try what you go do? You want to go do? Maybe so. Now greedy people. If you get willing to advise them, or when you want to draw attention to, you let them know say, look, this way they do. I said, no, be the best way. You don't see it this way. Not every morning come.
How much? You see, now people will they have money. Because when you don't, even if you help somebody put down for office, make you give them small space too. Make you use your head to do some work. If you need you go come. But some people, they like to say, make you not go bath now, until I tell you to go bath. Their own wife too, they want to control the person's wife. You get the time when you go to the person say, this country don't choke me on. I don't feel take this country again. If I help you put you for government, nobody shall go to drag you. Like say be my this nobody say they do. Allow the man to do your own work. Your happiness be say the man they continue from where you stop. That's what they do this country. But when they do it, you just want to say now you did talk what will happen, the problem will come in. Now I'm never going to do that and everybody go happy. When people don't like, when people, you see, make I tell you, you get person who say, he don't know you. Just say your name, he say, he don't like you. How anybody will talk, say, the flyers that will say the thing they cost for? How? 12 flyovers in 4 years. Mention which federal government. Mention which government of any state will do 12 flyovers from 2019 to 2023. I didn't talk about my 8 years old.
Okay, Governor Wike right there speaking, talking concerning his successor. He says, waiting to make me and sing quarrel. Now only greedy people can wake up every morning and go tell I'm waiting to do. Two different forums. The governor spoke on what to expect between him and incoming governor St. Fuba. Some people are saying the governor is confusing Nigerians a little bit. Okay, first the governor says he will not have any quarrel with him because he will not tell him what to do. But later on the next day, on Sunday, in church, the governor told St. Fuba, he says, I will not disturb your administration, but I would not allow you to make us cry. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to go straight to Senator representing the great people this morning of Accra Cross, Senator Evangelist Opportunity this morning. Governor Wike speaking yesterday said he will not disturb the incoming administration of the state. Governor-elect Similai Fuba Wike spoke at the Thanksgiving service to mark the end of his tenure as governor at St. Paul's Cathedral, Joba, Port Harcourt on Sunday. He advised Fuba to be wary of those hell-bent on creating a rift between him and the state elders, saying if the governor-elect allows such ideas, then enemies will catch him. We will not disturb you from running your administration, but we will not allow you to make us cry. We want to succeed more than us, so that when we are passing on the road, we will raise our shoulders and say, we told you that it will do better than us. Governor Wike right there. I don't know, are you a little bit confused? First, the governor saying, because you carry Bessie enter power, don't mean say you're going to worry him every day. You think you'll give him space to work. The same man the next day, he's saying, but we'll not disturb the administration, but we're not going to allow you to make us cry. What are your what's the implication of that? Those statements from the governor regarding the likely rift that people have been predicting between him and the governor-elect St. Fuba. Your thought about this morning?
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, I did not study English language, but I tried to understand, the literal meaning of statement. And when someone said, "I will not," and later announced it, but. We will not. But in conjunction, it is interjection there. Interjection. Okay. Literary interjection.
Okay.
Now, if somebody said, "I will not disturb," but we will not. Now, the first one is I. The other one is we. So if he says, "I will not," that means I, as a governor, will not disturb him. But we are numerous now. We are very numerous. So if you do anyhow, we will come for you. So you make us cry. We collectively, we are riverine community will come for you. That is what the governor is trying to talk. So he is trying to explain that personally, as a governor, I will not intrude in your government. But you know that I am not alone. I have other reverend people that are with me.
Okay, I'll quickly come to you. The Sing Senator representing River South this morning. Did the governor, in the first place, allow the the we that he talked about in the second part of the statement, did he allow the we to come close to his administration?
He can never change. He can never change. He can never change. We will be same forever.
Okay, so what are you trying to say?
My president.
Yeah.
I did see Sim.
Okay.
Sim don't enter. The truth is, why I say don't enter? Say,
yeah.
Now the remix also this matter for them. And at least to very reasonable over 60%.
Yeah.
And because I remember say the whole day when they go campaign, Sim not the one to talk. Because I really don't get like hype man. Where they doing hyping
for LLM?
No, for the whole 23 local government. Already didn't get hype man. Where they hype for him. You understand? So Sim not the one in life. And because I remember the last time I see him talk. He talks about say the campaign finish. We're not doing that voice. Because that when he talk, he say, I am an accountant. I am not a lawyer. I didn't talk that one. I believe say like say for a year. If I then after that day, I see him just all the thing one talk, they mind. You see from today around 4 and I will hear same voice. But see no say for 30 weeks where through put them there. Sim don't know.
So Daddy Wicks is saying that the elders are going to come if he wants to make them.
Only the rich now elders. Don't need to carry that.
But I'm asking, did the elders perform their function in the last 8 years in Governor Wicking's administration?
And they were performing, no. The second this was performing. They're very far. Performing all of them. Omeya was performing. Very far. They were performing online. Because we near me to perform our government.
We are many here.
Yes. So it's back to you.
Yes.
The chaplain of Equity. Your thoughts about this? He says, I will not disturb your administration, but data.
Mr. President is like you. After teaching me how to do this radio work, you will encourage me to do it, but you will never allow me misbehave here. You go either first off my mic or suspect which one be Wayo boy. Now see,
why they involve me for this?
No, see now, as a father, from after today, Sim is the governor.
Okay,
we can a former governor.
Yes,
he will allow him to take decisions. But as a father, if you see him they do wrong thing, you fit caution him. Now caution you go caution him because he is the governor. You are no longer the governor. You go advise him. Tell and say see. I don't think there's any other thing where we can want.
Why is everybody saying most likely they're gonna fall out? That's like the third time that the governor in interviews is trying to assure people say me and Sim they go fall out.
The problem with human beings be say them be shareholders for another person brain. You dey go they think for another person. Say it go fall you never did sure.
Don't you think maybe it's because of the antecedents?
God bless you, President.
Of the governor. Don't you think? I'm just asking.
Mr. President, excuse me.
All right.
Mr. My colleague here, marvelous that is now you they talk or now you they talk to me.
Is he your floor?
He should let me talk.
I'll let you learn the best.
Man, no problem.
Okay, yeah. Get the floor.
But
the floor is wet. So nobody owns the floor right now.
He's almost becoming rebellious. Now this thing when he talk now, if he in position of Sim, he go one fight. In the sand no sheep now. You were the man with the pregnancy.
Don't cover everyone.
I keep hand like this. And Bella go reach my hand. He say, "Now me tell me they pregnant." So Mr. President. What I
you want to say the governor no go quarrel? You don't be quarrel.
I'm not quarreling. Na the tune. So who call this one?
President, sir.
Yes.
The truth about this matter is that bot. Anything when they tell you say bot, that bot now sense of warning.
We not go allow you to make us cry.
If you
not be if you not go make us cry.
Okay,
who go help you?
So how?
Why not? Who go advise you?
You don't know. So we say now.
Are we not? So people not crying now this day.
Okay, so the first statement says, "I will not disturb your administration." So we have to come from the angle of disturbance.
Yes.
The part is that I will only disturb your administration if you make us cry.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Did I interpret it well?
Yes.
I will not disturb your administration.
Yes.
But We will not allow you to make that, because if you make us cry,
yes,
we'll go worry you.
And Sim will not make us cry.
No, hold on. That's so
that we don't worry.
No, we're concentrating on. I will not. Okay, I have a pro chancellor of Obiakpo University, the 6th Senator Associate College. I will not disturb the administration. But we'll not allow you to make us cry. You this boy.
My distinguished Senate
President. We'll disturb you, Jagalis.
My distinguished Senate President.
Yeah.
Make we not dey bother ourselves about this thing.
Okay.
First, you go ask some fundamental question. Back and I hear Mama Binoga now say, market will go sweet. They start from morning.
It depends. No, I mean, some morning market made a sweet. Not even random matter.
No.
Go big the market.
Now you go ask.
Yeah.
Wetin the surface be like? This is a government of consolidation. That means Sim Fubara is continuing from the blueprint wey the governor get, and they go not get one-on-one talk. You understand? Now that brings us to what we are saying and clamoring all the time: leadership in everybody business, just as security in everybody business. No be because governor go there somewhere in the room, you no go contribute your own quota. You get people wey go there too, they do check and balance. If you do anyhow, you say anyhow. Now it is very clear that what we expect from Sim Fubara is a better surface or something continually. We are
more interested in the bots.
Not be the bot now.
So the bot is, you mentioned one factor.
Yes.
You said there's a blueprint on ground.
Yes.
Okay. Looking like what happened in Lagos.
Yes.
It's a replica.
Yes.
Of what happened in Lagos. Where Bola Tinubu has, a blueprint. But from Bola Tinubu to Raji Fashola.
No.
Raji followed. At some point in time, come like say Raji, no one follow again. They fall out. When they fall out, Lagos will go and tell Bola Tinubu say, "We like you, but you see this guy, touch not my anointed. Touch not my anointed. Touch not my anointed. Touch not my anointed." He can't fight to
my senior
when Bola Tinubu realized that he might, as a senior boy, lose out to Raji Fashola, he come on hand and settle. Raji was there. And then Bola come learning lessons. When he gave it to Ambode, he make sure say all the boys who work with Ambode na him boys. Because he tell Ambode say, come back. A day to the election, primary elections, right there in APC Lagos, all the boys when they governor, commissioner of information resign, commissioner of this resign, commissioner of that resign, everybody come out. Waka go somewhere back. So what I'm saying is this: is there a possibility that the bot is, we will perish here, but if you not follow the blueprint just like you said, we can tear this blueprint.
Any state where one go far, we not say government and continuity.
Yes.
Every state, every country, every family get blueprint.
But why they decide to do things
that is why your father will tell you are bringing bad name to this family. I will disown you. Now be that if you don't do well, him. You understand? See back him. So that blueprint will be consolidation when sim they bring. Now what thing go follow?
Let them not use that particular blueprint. Unless they will continue to build bridge for Obiakpo.
Okay.
Before the IHGs. Let them come out that print.
Okay.
Use your proper print.
My own I don't calculate. This is just the relatively count of what happened between the incoming president and the former president. The relatively count I am talking about is the Buhari taxi. If you understand why in go run go the Niger, nothing in the supposed to take like that. As the governor talk and say he's supposed to come, he's supposed to take say if anybody suffer Nigeria, I will talk. All our former leaders, they are supposed to day around. If you don't say you do well, you are supposed to day around. If anything they go contrary, you stand well because you are a leader. A former leader is always a leader.
But he mentioned some other leaders, like Celestine Omeria.
Yeah,
like
Right Honorable.
What?
Right Honorable Chibuke Danechi.
Okay, I mentioned the leader. Did they listen to?
Yeah,
did they listen?
It depends on the way you come. It's just like Obasanjo.
No, you don't.
Just like, no, it depends on look at Obasanjo and Buhari.
Everybody say Allah.
Number one, Obasanjo Buhari.
It depends.
Hey, no, look at Obasanjo and Buhari. If Obasanjo want to talk to Buhari, he will just write a letter to the well. But the reason that we come village say no one put to matter. Put to matter, we go put to matter. Look, don't run from any.
Okay, those phone lines right now. The Sing Senator Obaseki. Your thoughts about this? Is it looking like another Obaseki case? The governor's been trying to defend himself a whole lot. Somebody was saying maybe because of the antecedents of the governor that they start very well, that suddenly fight could come. The governor Secondus, the governor Atiku, the governor the governor Baseki. Is that why lots of people are predicting that something like that might happen again in River State? But he's saying, I will not call him because I will not disturb him. But
now, so everybody they talk, I will not do this, I will not do this. But the truth be said, there's no how way two friends go take very close without a quarrel. Master or got a quarrel. Now, him na master, he don't teach a boy something. Now, he don't retire, he don't become normal civilian like us now. He's not a normal civilian. Only say he get one or two.
Was he military before?
I make more for understand where they go. You understand? So he be there under military policy cover and that time. If he command military do this or do that for him because of say immunity cover. But now in the single, this boy now don't get that power. So everybody now with the answer wicked sir, do not the answer sim sir. Now when sim don't father say now him get that authority, Baba he go tell him say look, I will do it my own way, my own pattern, my own style. Not surprised say if Sim does finally enter, those people where we get quarrel with, he go make them friends. Because my rivers. Now then I probably go first come because Sim talk say now you quarrel with them. Me they are party people. I don't know. You know first must have big talk. I'm a gentleman. I'm an accountant. So after that I can see be counting money. Let me make them my friends. After these people have larger money, their problem go fit come from.
But the funny thing is that the rumor that went round saying they quarrel and the governor slapped Sim is also relating to what you just said. That he said Atiku. Not be your friend. I know that, but I want to start on a fresh note. I want to be friends with everybody.
Yes,
that's the rumor that we heard. That the governor has tried to clarify plenty times.
Now it go work, because number one, Sim not.
Let me save you. Let's hit the phone lines this morning.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Okay.
084-550-977 084-555-977. All right, talk to us this morning. The governor of River State is telling the incoming governor, said, me and you no go fit quarrel. Okay? Now, only greedy people, they wake up for morning, they go tell another person what to do. And he also says, I will not disturb your administration, but we're not going to allow you to make us cry. It reminds me of one Kwakado saying, Papilo, I know say one day you go make us cry. Hello, good morning. Morning.
Good morning, my name is Gabriel. I'm calling from LL1.
Great, good to have you this morning. Name and location, welcome.
Yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm coming from LL1.
Oh, great. All right, welcome. How's Element this morning? 30 seconds, welcome.
No, LL1.
Oh, LL1. All right, welcome.
Yes. So I want to this issue of the governor saying build Hamming flyover for River State. Flyover is not the problem of Rivers people. How many roads went to some different local governments? Look at the Element Junction here, where people get in structures, land. They have to open so many places to help people for this life. They abandon there. They build flyover. That place now, no area. Look at it from Ruby Bekwe to LL1 here. That place, those roads there, nobody even talk about those roads. He says they build flyover. That flyover help anybody to it.
All right.
Look at land. Some company get land anywhere from here. You cannot get access to those lands to develop that place.
Okay, all right. Let's take one more call and then we go for a commercial break. Hello, good morning, 97.7. Morning. Hello, good morning. All right, call us right back. 97.7 Nigerian Senator Radio. Hello, good morning. Morning to you.
The Jagaban of the radio. Good morning.
Good morning.
All my senators in the studio, including the senator representing my constituency in Edo State, Oba Atokpe. Good morning.
Morning.
You are welcome back. It has been a long time I've not heard from you. What is happening in Edo State?
Edo State is fine. I will go settle matter. Erosion one chop Edo State finish.
No, about saying not a trial. We'll soon vote hard. Back to the business of the, Olaliko, I told you before, early in the morning, that Governor Wike, any moment from now, will not hear his COC is there to arrest these people. You people, they don't know I'm in charge of River State. Now is not seen. Sin has come. So what is happening is that Governor Wike just carry his body come out from government house. If River State not let us say, he should follow body to either Dora or Niger Republic. So let's see what River State, and he should not have any affair at all. No governor. The way Osomole tell Chief Tony Anini of Furu, former PDP chairman, national chairman, after Osomole become a governor of Edo State, he carry what is it called? He tell us say there is no godfatherism in Edo State. So I am expecting say either tomorrow morning any moment from National Blue Card.
All right. Boss. Okay, thank you so much, Toma, this morning. 8:36, 24 minutes before the top of the hour, 9 o'clock at 97.7 FM. And this is the Nigerian Senator Radio, One Nigeria show at Family Love 977. One more caller, and then for a quick commercial break. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Morning, you're welcome.
Yes. As my Senate representing my Alpha Cross. God bless you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm from Scotland, Alokin Road. Representing my good people from Scotland.
Okay.
God bless them.
Great, good to have you. Welcome.
My governor for last talk. You know what happened? But what the concern was he carry many things inside. But if you betray my people, and if you betray me to join them, I go deal with you. And that time, he goes, if the person will enter inside sit now. And he go pain the person really outside. Sometimes he go see the person out. He go pain the person really inside. I still remember that in music. I don't get them from my audio. May God bless them.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Let's go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, one man is saying, the cow where I get, my cow them. Easy to control my cow than to control Nigerians. Because of that, I'm going back home. Mr. President, Muhammad Buhari is telling Nigerians, I'm happy I'm going back home because cow where I get, it's easy to control them than to control Ona. Oh my God. Somebody say local Nigerian man in so much pain. Commercial break, we'll be right back. Good morning,
Oh boy, this your cough, eh?
Baba, don't drink medicine, tire.
Self-medication? No, nah.
Wetin I go do? Hospital money no be here.
When they tell an AXA Mansard Health Plan,
That's right. With the Airtel AXA Mansard Health Bundle, you get access to a doctor, medication, and hospital cover up to 100,000 naira. Dial *141*44# now to select the plan that suits you.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Naija woman wey full ground, ever balling Naija woman. See as you fresh like today bread. You dey wake up early momo, you dey sleep late for night. If no be you, tell me how future wan take bright. 100 to million, you dey run am even when everywhere tight. Na you be mama, big sis, aunty, paddy, shop partner, all join. Day or night, you always get your people back. Naija woman, your face show, your gele rise. When you raise shoulder, we sef know say no be pride. Na so e suppose be. Stanbic IBTC dey celebrate Naija women with Blue Blossom. Blue Blossom na community for women wey wan save, invest and grow well for life. Waka go www.stanbicibtc.com to start your Blue Blossom journey today. Go blue with Stanbic IBTC. Stanbic IBTC, it can be.
We all have a future we desire, a next level from where we are, a possibility that's better than today's reality, and our chances of achieving them as wide as our imaginations can go. Don't stop imagining now that you have a reason to.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Congratulations and celebrate. Congratulations. We, the management and the entire staff of the River State Microfinance Agency, RIMA, heartily congratulates the Governor-elect of River State, Sir Simnilai Fubara, and your Deputy-elect, Dr. Ngozi Odo, as you officially transit and take over the administration of the state. We wish you the best of leadership and pray the Almighty grants you and your team the grace to continue in the good works of the outgoing administration of Governor Nyesom Wike. We pledge our loyalty and support to your government to grow the micro, small and medium businesses in the state. This is signed by Mr. Nura Albert Barayoks, Acting Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, River State Microfinance Agency, RIMA. Congratulations and celebrations when I tell everyone that you're in love with me.
Okay. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, local Nigerian man and so much pain. My name is Oba Baskio, I like all the old square. Superstar broadcaster, welcome to the All Stars Radio Show.
How far? What did they now? My name is Prince Hezekiah, FSS, MSS, NRPS, DPPS, RPS2, HIV negative. Live and direct, superstar radio show with they are live for the All-Star Gathering.
That's right, the All-Stars Radio Show live on Family Love 97.7 FM, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10:30 a.m. all the way till 12 noon. Prince Omo Eagle Pod. This is only for the stars.
Hold on there. Make no touch down your dial, you don't understand. Your share go check on Tuesday, we go come out on Thursday. God have mercy upon us.
Okay, this is only for the stars. If you don't get IV, don't turn up.
And if you don't have IV, no turn up.
No turn up, baby. Alright, All Stars Radio Show, 10:30 to 12 in the afternoon, Tuesdays and Thursdays on Family Love 97.7 FM. World famous superstar Olaliko the Whole Square.
World famous Square 2 superstar Prince Hezekiah. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
I see you Tuesday morning at 10:30.
And I'll see you on Thursday too, the same time.
Superstar, baby, alright?
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7.
You're listening to the hottest family station, Family Love 97.7 FM.
Okay, local Nigerian man in so much pain this morning. Mr. President, who's leaving office tonight, Muhammad Buhari on Sunday night said looked forward to flying back to his cows and sheep in Daura, which are much easier to control than Nigerians. He was speaking, he says, I congratulate fellow Nigerians who have realized the power that votes count. I'm looking forward tomorrow to fly to my base and go back to my cows and sheep, which are more easier to control than my fellow Nigerians. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I got the senator representing Northern Nigeria, Alachi Usman, this morning. Mr. President said it's easy for me to control my cow and sheep down to control Nigerians. How possible is this? Your quick thought about this as well.
When I hear from Baba, I take him as a hate speech. You insult your subjects. This is the same thing that this same man we do for Kuje. they say Nigeria na zoo. You know all this thing. You call your people animal. You know, either controversies with we and animals.
Does this imply that Nigerians are lesser animals in this context?
Number one, if you look sometime like this, if you don't be say it's a father that is calling the student animal, sometimes some of us will behave like animals, you know. Some of us if you look somebody myself, you go think say maybe if you tell your dog to come, go come, then won't be myself. So that's why in looking for that angle, as a father, as a man that rule the whole nation, you're not supposed to tell was this is incited. All right,
Senator Representative Jones got something to say this morning. Are you comfortable that the Nigerian president is comparing or trying to liken Nigeria, okay, to to the cow and sheep? He says it's easier to control his own cow and sheep than controlling Nigeria. Your quick thought about this?
You know, it depends on how we take reason now, because me I reason now from a different perspective.
Okay.
Yes, not true. Even mumu go fit control cow. Even foolish person fit control cow. But you cannot, that mumu cannot control wise men. We are wiser. We are bigger than what he thinks. That is why I said to control a cow go fit that's why I say to control a cow go fit easier than to control Nigerians. Nigerians are wiser. We are bigger than the particular level they be reaching us.
All right, I want to come to you this morning, the man representing Equela this morning. Your quick thought about this?
It takes animal to understand animals more. That's all I have to say.
Mr. President, in summary, I just told you the whole story in 2 words. But Mr. President, I studied management.
Is it deeper than we take a look at it, or is it just on the surface of it?
It's deeper, Mr. President. It tells us how our president has been seeing us.
So it doesn't see his people, higher than cows and sheep.
And this tells you the reason we have been where we are. He brought us from top and dropped us on the floor. And now is leaving us. Mr. President, we all know that I studied management, and when we studied management, what is that now? I have my fro now.
You're just saying it.
I have my fro. Mr. President, I
10 seconds ago,
and they told us that in management that it is easier to manage human being. It's easier to manage animals than to manage human beings.
Is that what the president means?
And in what? Now it didn't tell us cow. They said animal. Are we? But now he's saying that.
But cow is an animal.
Mr. President,
I like to say kai.
I want to know the reason why.
What is it?
My colleague now is telling me kai from my behind.
From your behind.
Oh, you support my phone.
You support animal.
You should come to my phone.
Okay.
Not so they control cow.
I have my phone.
Let's off now. Wait first. I like you, Mudashiru.
Mamela, what do you call him? President Buhari.
Yeah.
We say easy to call, no be lie. You don't go for traffic light. Nigeria man go see light, they show them go drive, they go. So we be cow. Nigeria cow. Because you go see light, they show red. For you to stop, you go look police no day.
So you have no. There's nothing that makes you that you're being compared to a cow.
If this man, not me, they compare. Madam, how they beat traffic when they supposed beat traffic, I mean the cow, not be me. Because if like say the guy agree stop, president for those say the country will be like cow.
Mr. President, having known that it is hard to manage human beings, as a management scientist that I am, then you must get ready. If you know that you're not qualified to make the complexity of human philosophy.
So has he failed?
He has failed now. Because you should know that human beings are complex.
All right.
You should know. You should prepare.
Obiekwa Senator, quickly, your thoughts, because we have to take 2 calls and we got to go now.
My Senate President.
Yeah.
I don't know what I want to tell Buhari.
Sorry.
I honestly don't know what I want to tell. That is the kind of leadership we will get for this country. Where people don't get plan, they will just see themselves for somewhere. Okay. Otherwise, why you go look Nigeria, giant of Africa? Nigeria, sorry.
We'll take 2 phone calls quickly. 30 seconds each. Hello, good morning. Morning.
Good morning, Joe.
Morning. Name and location, 30 seconds, quickly.
All
right, talk to us quickly. All right.
Papa, where born the king? When we say one time the king don't commit something, he go use that one they call him the king, say the king na animal, the king na goat, the king na this. Now he like the same thing where Mr. President they call say in cow and in animal. Where they for Daura and other country and other Sokoto states, na animal. So you can control them past Nigeria.
Okay, well, I really can hear what you're saying. Final caller. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you this morning.
Senators in the House, I greet you all.
We greet you back. Good morning. Quickly.
You see how leaders are taking us.
Go ahead.
We are
quickly.
like animals to them. That is why when they use us finish, they don't post rank. They don't recognize us. See how he came to Nigeria and see how he's placing us. Thank you.
All right, quite unfortunate. We gotta go, guys. Guys, we got less than 10 seconds to lift the studio. Final words from you. 2 seconds right there.
I wish the outgoing government congratulations, and I wish the incoming government congratulations. Work well. God bless you.
All right, okay. The 6 Senator representing the group paper this morning from Ikoi. Final words from you this morning.
I beg,
quickly.
Ogoloma community, I beg, light committee, I beg, Anisha, and Nepa, make on help us, I beg. We take God beg.
Thank you so much. Alaji Usman representing Northern Nigeria. Thank you.
Please, all the incoming government in all over Nigeria, please. Do something good for us. We are expecting.
Okay, Evangelist Open Tita Aqua Cross. Final was you this morning. 10 seconds.
Please, as you come in with ideas, come in with projects to change the lives of Nigerians. About
All right, thank you so much. Of course, the man from Obiakwa this morning.
All right, I want to invite everybody tomorrow with the host week in Don't Do Well. No man perfect. Utal and thank you for the one when do the incoming administration seems like thank you.
All right, we gotta go this morning. Thank you so much. The City Center Marvelous Daddy Sarah. We've got a guest in the building, and all the way from God's Delight Property. We have a very good friend, Monster. Monster's here. Monster, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, marvelous. We need to find out how waiting carry Monster come from God's Life Property this morning.
All right, Monster, good morning.
Good morning.
Just tell us, because today now official inauguration of new government. What do you want to inaugurate? Because I know God's Life Properties get so many things. What do you want
to inaugurate 700 plot of land and give us this morning.
Tell us more, Joya. Tell us more, yeah.
Thank you very much. My name is Monistar. I'm from God's Delight Properties. I'm here to inform and enlighten and educate the general public about the lands and properties we have for sale for all of you. We are here to ensure that everybody is a landowner. We ensure that acquisition of land is actually flexible and transparent. We do not make you experience any difficulty when you want to acquire land. So therefore, God's Delight Properties ensure that your land that you actually intend to acquire for that gift that you want to give out for a birthday present or for a marriage present or for that particular investment you want to invest or for residential purposes, we fill in that gap and ensure that the land is given to you genuinely without any difficulty whatsoever.
So then they give person land for birthday present?
Yes, so you can actually give land to a person as a birthday present. Just few days ago, we celebrate our Children's Day. That can be a very huge investment for your children. Why not acquire land that put it in the name of your child and you give it as on the Children's Day that was celebrated 2023. That's a gift from you, from a father, from a mother, from an uncle. From a sister.
Okay, from a sister, from your family person. Where this land and they, make Port Harcourt people know, because plenty since you don't see a gift. Some persons now don't really they sit down. Then go try to get the details to know where the land they, whether they'll give some, because birthday continues to December to January. So tell us where the land and they. Beg.
Thank you. God's Delight Property have land spread across Port Harcourt, across River State. We have land at Agbara Iche. We have 3 estates in that particular location. The Silver Court Luxury Estate. We have the Brooksville Luxury Estate. Even the Victorious Garden Estate. We also have land at Ipo, which is a few drive away from International Airport. We have the Dominion Garden Estate in that particular location. God's Delight Property have properties at Eneka, Elelewan, Elewanin, even in Uniport. We have properties waiting for you to acquire.
You don't call like almost 7 locations now.
Thank you.
They tell us because every place not get the same price. So just tell us the price and more they know. And after now you have asked another question. Tell us the prices for Mecca and already for Leohani. Leohani will be just here after Rumodara.
As Rumodara.
Now they are my sister married.
And the marriage is blessed in Jesus' name.
Amen. She get factory and no add more blessing. Just tell us how the money they go for it because that I want you. I want buy land give somebody today.
Thank you very much. The property we have at L1 is 7.5 million naira. The property we have at L1 is 13 million naira. While the one we have at Agbara Ichil, the Silver Court Luxury Estate, we have the is 1.7 million naira. The Brooksville Luxury Estate is 1.5 million naira. The Victorious Garden Estate is on the launching price. It has just been recently launched by the company. Is 550,000 naira. All situated at Agbara Ichi. If you drive from University of Science and Technology, the Tese University, even the Stella Maris University is actually located at that particular location, the Agbara Ichi Everon. Then the one we have at Ipo, which is a few drive away from International Airport, is 1.5 million naira. Our properties at Neka is 5 million naira, while the one at Uniport is 5 million naira. God's Delight Properties want to ensure that land is available and also affordable with flexibility of payment.
Fine. You don't talk this how I really like. What is it? Flexibility of payment. Because say, if you just get your money boom one time, you understand? Because no matter how you work, unless now you get the company, we just collect the money boom one time. But if you work as well, the work, if you say okay, this month, you are next month, you are the market. If I let us talk about it, I want to buy land for somebody next week. You understand? But if I pay today, now I be like, okay, next week, pay finally like how many? Just tell me on a flexibility plan because I want to buy land for somebody.
Thank you. God's Delight Properties ensure the flexibility of payment is so available to the general public. We have the Easy Buy plan, which is within the period of 1 month and 1 year, you can actually make payments. In that particular Easy Buy plan, you can start up your payment with just 20,000 naira. I repeat, with just 20,000 naira, you come to God's Delight Property, you make an initial deposit, and within the period of 1 month to 1 year, you can actually clear this particular payment, and your properties will be given to you. That falls within our Easy Buy plan. We also have another plan called the Installment Payment Plan. That one within the period of 1 month and 6 months, you can come to God's Delight Properties, and we'll give you a land after you start making payment from the first deposit until you finish making that particular payment. Once you finish making within that period of 1 month to 6 months, all the necessary documentation will be given to you free of charge from God's Delight Properties. Then we have the one called the Outright Payment Plan. You come to our office, we take you on site inspection. After you verify this particular land, then you come back and you make deposits, and all the necessary documentation will be given to you outrightly. That's the outright payment plan.
Okay, ma'am, I want to understand because people they really ask me, man, ask you now if the land person is going to pay for 3 months, going to pay for 6 months, going to pay for 1 year, and that land maybe now 100,000 an example. If I pay for 1 month, or if I pay for 3 months, or if I pay for 1 year, now the same 100,000 I go pay all because I pay for 6 months, I'll pay 1.2, or if I pay for 1 year, I go pay 1.8. I'll be any addition or something like that.
No, in God's Delight Properties, once the arrangement has been made within the period of 1 month to 1 year, and all the necessary arrangement has been made, there will be no addition. Or if you fail to meet up with that particular agreed period, then since land appreciates, then a particular arrangement will be made on that regard.
All right, I better give us your office address, more know where you go and phone number fast so that we come
Our
out.
office number is 0916 0000846. I repeat, 0916 0000846. You can call us on our other number 0916 0000847. I repeat, 0916 0000847. God's Delight Property is located at number 110 East West Road, opposite New Wine Anglican Church, Rumudara, Port Harcourt.
All right, thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you very much.
All right, my name is Marvelous Dadisaro. I live in the hands of the only organ with the psyche, chai, organic. Oh, babe, how are you? Welcome to work this morning. Chai, baby.
We desire a next level from where we are, a possibility that's better than today's reality, and our chances of achieving them as wide as our imaginations can go. Don't stop imagining now that you have a reason to.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Is your light hiding under a bush? Are you a minister seeking for a platform for expression? Is your ministry yearning for global presence and impact? Then, African Movie Net Television, a national TV station with over 10 million viewers across the Nigeria, is ready to partner with you on our free TV decoder channel 721. You can call 0803-310-0852 for your TV broadcast airtime space, or visit us at Family Love FM station near you. Your set time of manifestation is here.
Okay. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, local Nigerian man and so much pain. My name is Oba Baski, I like call the old square. Superstar broadcaster, welcome to the All Stars Radio Show.
How far? What did they now? My name is Prince Hezekiah, FSSMSS, NRPS, DPPS, RPS2, HIV negative. HIV negative. Live and direct, superstar radio show. We day live for the All Star Gathering.
That's right. The All Stars Radio Show live on Family Love 97.7 FM. Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10:30 a.m. all the way till 12 noon. Prince, Omo Eagle Pod. This is only for the stars.
Hold on there. Make no touch down your dial. You don't understand. Your share go check on Tuesday. We go come out on Thursday. God have mercy upon us.
Okay, this is only for the stars. If you don't get IV, don't turn up.
And if you don't have IV, no turn up.
No turn up, baby. Alright. All Stars Radio Show, 10:30 to 12 in the afternoon, Tuesdays and Thursdays on Family Love 97.7 FM. World famous superstar Olaliko the Whole Square.
World famous Square 2 superstar Prince Hezekiah. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
I see you Tuesday morning at 10:30.
And I'll see you on Thursday too, the same time.
Superstar, baby. Alright?
Yeah, man. Yo, man, hold on, man. Y'all got to turn them radios up. Y'all got to turn them up. Turn them radios up.
You're listening to your hottest family station, Family Love 97.7 FM.
And you now, girl, tune in.
You know what it is. Yeah.
Straight up.
We must say no to actions that cause sorrow, death, and colossal loss. Remember, it is a punishable offense under the laws of Nigeria to build, farm, and engage in trading or any type of business activity on a pipeline right of way. For your safety, be advised to maintain a setback distance of about 30 meters or 100 feet from the boundary. Look out for yellow and black painted markers. They signify a pipeline right of way. Do not allocate, sell, or buy any land in and around them. The danger is real as the underlying pipelines carry inflammable products at very high pressures. We value your life, so help us to preserve it. This message is sponsored by SPDC, operator of the NNPC, Shell, Total, and Ajip joint venture.
Hello and welcome to Canvas, the Niger Delta Roundtable, where we discuss the future of this wonderful region that is blessed with hydrocarbons resources. Today is Monday, May 29th, 2023. We all know what is happening today. Apart from the fact that every Monday, 9 a.m., we come here to discuss the topics that are relevant to the development of the Niger Delta. Today is actually a different day, as May 29th is transition of power. So once every week on this station, we give 1 hour of our time, like I said before, 9 through 10 a.m., reflecting on topics that are relevant to the development of the Niger Delta and the people of the Niger Delta. And so today is not different, as we are here to focus once again on how to take this wonderful region to a more promising future. Let me remind you that this program is being sponsored by the operator of the NNPC SPDC Total Energies RGIP joint venture, the Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria Limited, headquartered in Port Harcourt. Many thanks to our sponsors and to you, our dear listeners. And so today, our topic is Children's Day, an atmosphere for Niger Delta children to flourish. May 27th every year is celebrated in Nigeria as Children's Day. It has been so since 1964, and it is a day when the government and the people of Nigeria focus attention on children in the country. Children's Day strives to raise awareness of children's rights, children's care, and education rights, which have been so tested in recent decades. The day is observed to stress the importance of having a healthy childhood and how we need to protect the freedoms and rights of children, along with other young people. Now, according to the Relief Web blog, Nigeria's future depends largely on the well-being of its children and the young people. The more a child's well-being is ensured through developing appropriate support systems, the more confident Nigeria can be for its future generations. You know, we always say the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. Now, a child who grows up in a supportive and secure environment is likely to be able to cope well as an adult while growing up, to advance their standard of living, and also to look after the older generation. In other words, looking after our children is in our best self-interest. So how well have parents, have government, have stakeholders fared with this? With all that I have said, how well have we fared with this? And so today our guest is Mrs. Ibia Annie. She will lead our discussion on Children's Day, an atmosphere for Niger Delta children to flourish. Mrs. Ibia Annie serves on the board of Popular Educational Center, which is Playpen Children Development Center and Primary School, and that was founded in 1981 in Port Harcourt, River State. She leads the Daisy Management Center Limited, human resources consultant, established after a meritorious career in leading world-class institutions, including SPDC and Citibank, where she country HR officer. She has a background as a legal practitioner, and the Niger Delta born is a certified John Maxwell speaker. She's a trainer. She's also a coach, a fellow of the Institute of Management Consultants, member of the Association for Talent Development, and of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria. You're welcome to Canvas, Mrs. Ibia Annie, the Niger Delta Roundtable.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here. It's a real pleasure to be here, and thank you for inviting me to speak on this very important subject.
All right, thank you so much. I know we're going to have a great time today because we will learn a lot. We'll have discussions. We'll also have discussions from parents at home. Even if you're a child, you can actually call in. You're a teenager, you can call in, you can ask your questions. You can say what you think the government, the society needs to do differently from what the society is doing right now to make children be children, to grow in a good environment. So we'll just take a quick break, and when we return, we'll delve straight into the topic of discussion for today.
Must say no to actions that cause sorrow, death, and colossal loss. Remember, it is a punishable offense under the laws of Nigeria to build, farm, and engage in trading or any type of business activity on a pipeline right of way. For your safety, be advised to maintain a setback distance of about 30 meters or 100 feet from the boundary. Look out for yellow and black painted markers. They signify a pipeline right of way. Do not allocate, sell, or buy any land in and around them. The danger is real as the underlying pipelines carry inflammable products at very high pressures. We value your life, so help us to preserve it. This message is sponsored by SPDC, operator of the NNPC, Shell, Total, and Ajip joint venture.
You're welcome back to Canvas, the Niger Delta Roundtable. On the program today is educationist, board member of Playpen Child Development Center in Port Harcourt, and the human resources professional, Mrs. Ibia Ani. And she's ready to lead our discussion of the topic, Children's Day, an atmosphere for Niger Delta children to flourish. Like I said before, you can join the conversation, but the numbers for you to call are 084-550-977, 084-550-977, or 084-555-977, 084-555-977. You can also do a WhatsApp message to 0701-728-1638, 0701-728-1638, or do a text message to 0818-239-4143, 0818-239-4143. You can also follow the conversation live by commenting on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/canvas on air. This is to enable us continue the conversation even after the show. And you can do that too by joining our vibrant social media community. Your comments and your contributions, as always, are very important to us. So on Facebook, we are Canvas on air. That is facebook.com/canvas on air. And once again, let me say good morning to you and welcome on the show, Mrs. Ibia Ani.
Thank you very much once again.
Okay, so let's go straight into this. We celebrated Children's Day just on Saturday, May 27th. Now, how important is it really to mark Children's Day? Like, isn't this another, should I say, fun fair jamboree? And some would say we have so many jamborees in Nigeria, there is no need to celebrate it. So how important is it really to mark Children's Day?
I can't really emphasize how important it is to mark this day. It's a very important day. The theme for 2023 is investing in our future means investing in our children. Investing in our future means investing in our children. That's the theme for Children's Day for 2023. And if we remember late Kofi Annan, who used to be Secretary General of the United Nations, he said, I'll quote him, he said, "There is no trust more sacred than the one the world holds with children." So it is critically important. If you would allow me, I would like to go a little bit into, some of the history of Children's Day. Can I do that?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Yes, okay. It was first established in 1954 as Universal Children's Day by one of the UN agencies. And the focus for Children's Day is really on the protection of children and their welfare. Now, in our world today, where there is so much imbalance and there's chaos in many parts of the world, there is war, there is turmoil, economic crisis, children are often the biggest victims in many of these situations. If we look at what is happening right now in the Sudan, for example, children are really suffering. I mean, we see pictures on our television screens, the hunger that, children, they're not fully developed. So it's very, very
vulnerable.
difficult for them. And apart from that, there's also the issue of trafficking. Many children are trafficked across borders. And when we look at Children's Day, it's just one day in the year. And I think this is a day that we must take much more seriously. It's a day that gives all of us the opportunity to take stock, see what we have done to help, see what we can do to help more, to basically help to build a better future for our children. I mean, I'll repeat the theme. Investing in our future means investing in our children. And Children's Day is just one of the days that the UN marks for children. There are other days that draw attention to children around the world, and especially in our country, and specifically in the Niger Delta. You have the World Day Against Child Labor, and I'm sure we all know about child labor.
Yes.
You have International Youth Day.
We have the International Girl Child.
The girl child. There are so many
for the boy child too.
Children, yes. The boy child. And these are all occasions that help us to look at the issues. They raise the issues, the concerns that we should be looking at for our children, and try to bring together resources to address some of the many, many problems that there are. So in short, my answer is yes, it is very, very important. I can't overemphasize how important I actually think we should do much, much more than just one Children's Day.
Okay, so when you talked about having it just one day apart from the International Day for the boy child, the International Day for the girl child, I just remembered, in a year, people will always laugh and say, how many Mother's Day do we have? So maybe you are looking at having Children's Day as much as we usually have. Happy Mother's Day. But I have a question to also ask. I have so many questions today, but let me just put this in before the next one. Now, most times during Children's Day, you see parties in different places, and that's why some people feel it's just another jamboree in the country. People have parties without necessarily looking at what the celebration is all about, or what the theme is all about, and how to infuse it into the celebration. So don't you think that that is another reason why people see it as something people just come, have party and leave?
Well, yes, it's okay to have parties, but I don't think that's all it is. I'm aware that there are organizations that take it very seriously, that do specific things for children. There are some corporate organizations that take it upon themselves to put together a forum to, bring children together, to basically educate them. And, apart from the goodies and the parties and everything, I also know of an organization that organizes a children's fair. It's called a children's finance fair, where they begin to teach children about financial literacy. So there are various things that go on Children's Day, and I think we really do need to do more. I think private organizations can do much, much more with regards to Children's Day.
Okay, thank you very much for throwing more light on that, because you see, most times it's just a party, and we do not have other things to impact the children's life. Now, education. We talked about education and children development. They seem to go together. Yet the United Nations Children's Emergency Fund, which is a UNICEF report, their report is that 1 in every 5 of the world's out-of-school children is in Nigeria. How? Sometimes I ask, how? And why is this so in Nigeria?
Yes, it's a terrible statistic.
Very terrible.
There's excuse me.
Sorry.
There's actually a global childhood report from Save the Children, and it basically looks at the toughest places globally, the toughest places around the world to be a child. And unfortunately, Nigeria is listed in the top 10. And for some years now, Nigeria has been highlighted as the country with the highest out-of-school children. I mean, I've seen various statistics that say maybe it's around from 10 million. I've seen some statistics that say it's about 16 million children out of. I mean, that is a huge number. Some put it at even higher. I even saw one report that said it's about 20 million children out of school. I don't know. I can't, I can't verify that. But as I say, I've seen various statistics that put the numbers at very, very high. And, even at 10 million, it is a very sobering statistic. And to say that 1 in every 5 of the world's children that are out of school are in Nigeria. Oh, gosh. So you ask why? Why are there so many? I think there are various reasons. Okay. I mean, I think one that I would look at is underfunding. Underfunding is a key factor. The international benchmark, I think, for education that's set by UNESCO, and UNESCO is the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. They say the ideal benchmark for the national budget for education should be between 15% and 20% of the national budget should be used for education. Now, in our country, unfortunately, I don't think we have ever allocated that much. I believe for 2023, the budget for education was just over 8% of the national budget. In previous years, it has been lower. I think in 2018, it was about 5.6% or something, below 6% anyway. So really, what we are investing in education as a country is less than 50% of the world benchmark. So that's one. The other thing is poverty. Poverty is a huge factor. Many families depend on the children to do street hawking, which should not be done. They send them out to work to help out in some way, to help augment family finances and to help put food on the table. Another issue is security. Security is another big issue, especially with the increase in kidnappings. We've seen this increase in the last few years. We look at what happened with in the case of the Chibok girls, for example. Yes. They were taken in 2014. Many of them are still not back home. And since then, others have been taken into captivity. So there are many issues. The other thing I would like to talk about is COVID. During COVID, when the whole world was in lockdown and many children were locked down, people were taken out of school. Many of those that were taken out of school during COVID never went back. It was just not possible. All kinds of different issues. Maybe they had started working and they couldn't get back to school. So the numbers increased during COVID. I don't know. I think another reason would be, sometimes lack of knowledge of the parents, illiteracy of the parents. Maybe they don't know there are other things that they would like the children to do. And then, of course, there are cultural practices in some parts of the country where, young girls are married very early. There are many different reasons. Many. But it's and I think really, as a nation and within our region, we need to look at each of these reasons carefully and see what we can do to reduce these reasons, to reduce them to almost zero. Really, if we can reduce them to zero, it would be great. So we can get all our children into school.
Okay, so like we know, it's not possible to reduce them to zero, but I think to the barest minimum, it's possible for us to reduce to the barest. Now, talking about still education, what does education really do for the child's development and for our nation?
Well, I like to quote. I like to, I do a lot of reading, so I like to, quote from various
Yes, it's good,
people.
so we can also learn from it.
Yes, so one of Nelson Mandela, I like to read Nelson Mandela, and one of his most famous quotes is about education. And he says, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Education is the most powerful weapon
which you can use to change the world.
The other person I would like to quote from is a young Pakistani girl who was attacked because she was at school. Malala used to cry. And she said, one book, one pen, one child, one teacher can change the world. So if we talk about the importance of education, let's really look at it. Education is not just about academics. It's about learning, discovering things. It builds confidence in the children, and even in adult education. When adults get educated, it builds a confidence that they didn't have before. And as young children begin to learn and discover things, their confidence is built up. It also helps them to build critical thinking skills, and so they can think logically for themselves. Education gives them choices for career potential, economic success. What else? It builds interpersonal skills, interpersonal and social skills.
And the nation benefits from it.
Yes, they're meeting with other children from different backgrounds as they interact with others, in the classroom and at play. They build friendships that sometimes last a lifetime. Some of these things, help to develop their networks. I mean, I know many young people who have networks that have come from the schools they went to. And even myself, if I look at myself, some of the contacts I have today came from
the school.
What else? It builds character. You meet all kinds of people in a school environment, and you're building your character and learning the kind of person that you want to be. And so in a country that is as diverse as ours, and indeed within our own state, within our own region, the Niger Delta region with the different ethnicities. As our children learn and play together, it can be a way of bringing, unity, contributing to building the nation, building the region, where children from different backgrounds can see the common goals, focus on their similarities rather than their differences, and then use the differences as a strength, In team building, when we're building teams, each member of the team brings something different. So our differences should be a strength, not something that divides us. So I think our educational systems can help to teach the children to appreciate the strengths in their diversity. And there's so much. And as I say, it's not just about academics. That there are, vocational centers are beginning to open up again. So some children who may not be academic can go into building their skills and build themselves up, and with learning about critical thinking.
So it's a formal and informal way of education.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So now, a blog like I was reading before, a blog, Relief Web, reports that many adolescent girls, young women and boys are inhibited by social, cultural, and socio-economic factors that impede their well-being and their development. Is this true of Nigeria? Or should I say, is this true of the Niger Delta too? I would like you to expatiate on this.
The short answer to that question is yes, it is. It is. With so many out-of-school children. Again, I'll go to UNICEF. UNICEF, the UNICEF statistics say that Nigeria ranks as I think it's the 11th.
I know we used to be 10.
On the issue of child marriage. Child marriage. We're talking about social cultural. You said social cultural, and you said
socio-economic. Yes.
Yes. So child marriage. Nigeria apparently ranks third highest number of child brides in the world. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine?
Child marriage
in Nigeria. We rank third highest in the world. And it's across the country. We see a very high incidence in the northern part of the country, but even within our region, even in the Delta region, the Niger Delta, child brides. You see a lot of young girls being married off before their 18th birthday. I don't have actual statistics, but sometimes there can be various reasons. Again, maybe unplanned pregnancies in adolescent girls. Sometimes it can be an economic arrangement.
Yes.
Too many children in the house. This one can bring money. Then there's also the issue of female genital mutilation, which is another whole issue. I mean, that's another whole issue with the belief system. We're talking about social culture, the belief system that doing this increases the prospects of marriage for the girl. And I don't know. Some cases parents will do it to alleviate financial pressure on the family. And then boys and girls are both, sent out as house helps at a very young age. I've seen some children, very young, and they're house helps. Some of them are sent out to become street hawkers. I've interviewed a number of young people. You see them, they're articulate, they're bright, but they have a limited formal education. Why? Maybe their parents couldn't afford it. They had to drop out early.
To help their parents.
They have to help their children, their parents. They have to help their younger ones, at least, let the little ones at least get a basic education.
Yes.
So they're working very early to help to pay school fees. I don't know. And then there are young children who are recruited into all sorts of activities. They go out begging. Parents will send them out to go and beg. You see children on, working on building sites. As unskilled labor, I've had calls to call somebody to order before, on building sites. We know that, for example, in the DRC, where they're mining for, what is it that it's called? I think it's coltan. The coltan that, they use for mobile phones. Those that are doing the mining, many of them are children.
Yes.
Many of them are children, And, there are many, many child workers in Nigeria. I don't know the number, but I imagine it's a very, very high statistic. And then there's also the issue of child trafficking. Child trafficking, that's another whole topic. We can't cover that.
We can't cover that. No, it's very broad. So I think we'll talk about that on another day. But now, you have a rich background as a legal practitioner and HR consultant. Can you briefly, before we go on a break and open the phone lines for people to call in, can you briefly tell us what children's rights, care, and education is?
Yes, and for this I actually went to the laws. There's a full list of the rights of children and young people under the age of 18 in the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. And children. So in that document, it says children's rights. I'm going to read this. Children's rights include the right to health, education, family life, play, and recreation, an adequate standard of living, and to be protected from abuse and harm. Children's rights also cover their developmental and age-appropriate needs that change over time as a child grows up. So that's from the United Nations Convention. But apart from that, there's the Child Rights Act of 2003 that Nigeria has signed up to.
Yes, I remember.
And this law, basically what it does is that it guarantees the rights of all children. Well, it's supposed to guarantee the rights of all children.
Because
and makes provisions for various rights for survival, development, the care, parental care. I mean, parents have a duty. Parents or even legal guardians, they have a duty to provide basic protection and maintenance for their children. Rights to health and health services. I'd actually just like to pull up. There was a section that's really struck me. I want to just pull that up.
Okay.
Section 15 of the Child Rights Act says every child has the right to free, compulsory, and universal basic education And it shall be the duty of the government of Nigeria to provide such education.
Okay, sorry. Is the government of Nigeria actually doing this part?
No, well, I mean, this is why, private organizations, corporate organizations, individuals need to take more of an intentional interest and play an intentional role. At the end of the day, it's our children. So the government, we said earlier that the amount in the budget is not even 50% of the recommended amount, globally.
Yes.
So there are many, many reasons why we are in the situation we are in. I mean, if we follow the Act, then we wouldn't be in this situation. The Act also says, it also provides for the prohibition of buying, selling, and hiring children to do these things.
But we see them on the streets all the time, still doing them. Yes. I don't know, should I say, punishments for people who violate these laws? Because now, this is going to bring me to this. What should be in place? Like, what should be put in place in Nigeria today so children can actually have these rights?
Well, as I say, it has to be intentional. It has to be focused. I think a number of stakeholders, need to come together to put these things in place to make sure that these things are done. There is a document called Children's Rights and Business Principles. And these are a set of principles that guide companies, private companies, about the things they can do within the communities in which they operate to help support children's rights. For example, if you have vendors coming to provide services and products to your company, ensure that they are adhering to the Child Rights Act, that they're not using children, to produce the products that you're buying from them. There are various things that can be done, but it can't be one person that does it. So, as I said, I think it has to be, all the stakeholders. Parents have to be involved. Teachers have to be involved. The government should be involved, certainly. Members of the community. You see something wrong, speak up. Don't just leave it. Very often we see things and we just pass by. Oh, it's not my business. But really, if we want to fix this, the other day I saw a young girl. It was early evening, maybe about 5:45. She had obviously come back from school and was out in the street walking. And I just thought, I asked the driver to park the car and stop her. She said, that she does it every day. I mean, in retrospect, I wish I'd done more. I mean, I bought something from her, but I wish I'd done more. I wish I could have found out a little bit more and see what else can be done. But it has to be a concerted effort of all of us.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Talking about efforts on all of us, there are some persons I'll call and tell you that I have tried doing this before, and I didn't like the response, maybe from the parents or from the guardians of those girls or from the boys. And because of that, I decided to withdraw. I decided to take myself aback and not put myself into something that is none of my business. The environment alone and some person's reactions towards you helping can actually change your mindset. But we'll talk more on that when we return from this short break. This is Canvas, the Niger Delta Roundtable.
Okay, thank you.
We must say no to actions that cause sorrow, death, and colossal loss. Remember, it is a punishable offense under the laws of Nigeria to build, farm, and engage in trading or any type of business activity on a pipeline right of way. For your safety, be advised to maintain a setback distance of about 30 meters or 100 feet from the boundary. Look out for yellow and black painted markers. They signify a pipeline right of way. Do not allocate rent, sell, or buy any land in and around them. The danger is real as the underlying pipelines carry inflammable products at very high pressures. We value your life, so help us to preserve it. This message is sponsored by SPDC, operator of the NNPC, Shell, Total, and Ajip joint venture.
You're welcome back to Canvas. Thank you so much for your time. We have been talking about our children. Yes, very, very important as we looked at the topic Children's Day, an atmosphere for Niger Delta children to flourish. And Mrs. Ibia Ani has been giving us insights on what to do to make our children grow better, be better people in the society. That is what we have been looking at. And as you know, this is Canvas, the Niger Delta Roundtable, and this is where we paint a picture of the future we want to see for our wonderful region. So the educationist, the board member of the Playpen Child Development Center in Port Harcourt, and human resources professional, Mrs. Ibia Ani, has been the one taking us on the discussion of the Children's Day and atmosphere for Niger Delta children to flourish. You can join us on 084-550-977, 084-550-977. You can also call us on 084-555-977, 084-555-977. Do us a text message on 0818-239-4143, 0818-239-4143. And WhatsApp message to 0701 728 1638, 0701 728 1638. And let's talk. But then, while we wait for your calls, I have two messages here. Who'll take that before we leave the studio. But someone is also saying, I think this message just dropped while we were on break. The person is saying, good morning to you, Kate. Yes, good morning to you. Good morning to your guest. You have already said something on my mind. In our society today, they used to say the training up of a child is everyone's business. But right now, you can't even speak to another person's child. Okay, so thank you very much. You didn't put your name or where you sent that message from. So, Mrs. Ibia Ani, did you hear that?
I did.
Okay.
I did. Yes, and as you were reading that, I just remembered, you know, the maxim or the quote that used to say, "It takes a village. It takes a village to raise a child."
To raise a child,
and
yes.
Maybe that's one of the reasons we're in the situation we're in today. Because we have become, I don't know, very insular, and nobody wants to make somebody else's business their business. I think we have, you know, unique challenges, you know, as a nation. But I think it's important to strengthen our families. You know, the family unit. As, you know, we see the family unit unraveling. You know, mothers and fathers are out at work, and yes, because of economics, so somebody else is raising their child, or maybe nobody is raising their child. The children may be on their own, and then people may take offense if you want to correct. But in our tradition, in our traditional cultures, a child is everybody's child.
Okay.
You know, a child is everybody's child. You see a child doing something wrong, it's your responsibility as an adult to correct that child. But I hear what the caller said, and I mean, I'm very open to ideas as to how to turn this around and change it back to what it was, where indeed it is a village that raises a child.
Okay. There is another one from here. This name, it's been a long time I heard such names. Scholastica. Scholastica is saying, thank you for this. Okay. can we talk more on raising the boy child? Because we always look at the girl child. We have so many boy child have grown up to be men that were not well trained. Can we talk more about them? Okay. Thank you very much, Scholastica. All right.
Yes. You're speaking directly to a topic that I've been raising with a number of organizations. We have so many, so many activities for the girl child. We have so many things that focus on the girl child. And for some time, myself and a few others have been concerned about the fact that we seem to be leaving our boys behind. So some people are beginning to take this up. There's a foundation that has just started. That's, here in Lagos where I am. I'm actually speaking to you from Lagos. There's a foundation that has just started called Boys to Men Foundation.
Okay.
And basically building up the young men. But it's something that we can take a look at and see how we can develop something like that in our own region. There are too many young men who are basically bowing to peer pressure because they don't have a male role model. And, the mothers are out of the house, the fathers are out of the house, or maybe there is no father in sight. It is a problem that we really do need to address. Otherwise, we'll be dealing with even more serious problems if we don't address this now as parents, as mothers, and as fathers.
Okay, so there is another one here. Chimene said, in my compound where I stay, you dare not touch one of my neighbor's child or correct any of them. Okay, so this message is from Chimene from HE. That in my compound, you dare not. So I think we're still going back to it takes a village to raise a child. But it's not that way again. Do you think there is a reason why parents and some guardians do not allow other people correct their children? Do you think there is?
Honestly, I don't know. Obviously, there are all kinds of things going on. And I think it goes back to values. I think we've lost a lot of the old values that we had as a people, where you are actually your brother's keeper.
Okay.
So many things have changed, and the attitude now is, let me just face my front, not my business. I think at the end of the day, that kind of attitude affects all of us, and it's one of the reasons we are in the situation we're in today. I don't know the answer as to how to turn it back. Turn it back to the way
how it used to be.
Maybe some people feel that somebody who's correcting their child doesn't have the best interests of their child at heart. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I've seen it happen when somebody wants to correct a child and it causes a fight between the parents. I think it's unfortunate. We need. It's something we should look at. When you're saying what are the things we can do, maybe this is something we really need to take a look at seriously and see how we can turn it around.
Okay, so let me remind us that the program is sponsored by the operator of the NNPC, SPDC Total Energies Ajib joint venture, the Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria Limited, headquartered in Port Harcourt. And again, our phone lines 084-550-977, 084-550-977, or 084-555-977, 084-555-977. Hello. Yes, good morning and welcome to Canvas. Okay, do well to call us back. I don't know. I hope it's not the network. I know it rained seriously, but you can do well to call us back, or you call the other number before we leave the studio. Thank you so much. So, back to our guest today. Okay, so you are involved in educating children. You're involved in that. So what has been your experience, particularly investing in education and creating an atmosphere for children to flourish? And I think I want to ask this question. Why is education so expensive in Nigeria today? I know it's not just in Nigeria, but then why is it so expensive in Nigeria today?
It's expensive. I mean, when I think about the cost of the day-to-day management and running of the school.
Yes.
We live in a society where basically individuals and companies are providing basic infrastructure that people take for granted in other places.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're providing your own, power, water, things that you shouldn't have to worry about
at all. So,
there are big costs, to just keeping things going. Yes, it can be expensive. But I would like to say also that because of the access to the internet, there are a lot of programs on the internet, educational programs on the internet. Obviously, these need to be these need to be supervised if it's for children. But many of them are free. There are a lot of programs that are free. And, if parents have access to internet, and I know in the lower income areas it may be more difficult,
mm-hmm.
but there are things that can be done. There are programs that are free. I'm aware that during COVID, for example, in Lagos State, they set up a school radio program, education program. They actually set up a curriculum so children could access that program just listening to the radio. So there are things that we can do without spending huge amounts of money. Of course, doing it by radio means, they will miss out on some of the interpersonal relationships they will build, but at least they will be getting the exposure.
Mm-hmm.
So talking about what are the things we can do, again, this is something else we can take a look at and see how can we set up an educational, very hard to reach areas without costing them anything, really.
Oh, so you think that these are some of the things that people can do to make education affordable to many more?
Well, I'm just looking at, I'm looking at our region. In our region, there are areas that are very hard to reach.
Mm-hmm. So what about people from those areas? What can they do? Because common belief is that the cost of good quality education is high. So what can they do to make the education affordable?
Well, this is what I'm saying. I'm recommending that, it's possible to do certain things. And I was talking about what Lagos State did during COVID, when there was lockdown and nobody could go out. They set up education on the radio. So people could, basically there were specific times when the program was on, teachers would come and run the program and children would listen. And, it's not ideal, but it's better than nothing.
Okay. So
in terms of physical school,
mm-hmm.
the government is actually supposed to provide education. I think the Child Rights Act talks about free basic education, but it's the budget is not enough to do that, and very often it's left to private organizations and individuals that set
NGOs,
up a fund or an endowment to help particular areas. It's not ideal. There is a lot of work to do. But you ask why it is so expensive. It's partly because the infrastructure is so expensive to just keep things going. Much of the cost is passed to the parents in school fees.
Okay, so that's why, and the school has to run. They need to give quality education. I think if the government was doing their own part, I know the government cannot actually do everything, but if the government was doing their own part, I think some of these things would have been reduced. But do you think that we can actually have free education? Is it possible?
It was something that we had in this country in the early days.
And so what happened?
Education was free. I think it was free education, primary school, free primary education, up to when children go to secondary school used to be free. But all of that has changed. A lot of issues, a lot of problems. It would be nice if we can get back to that. I know there are places where what they do is they provide a meal to try and get the parents to send their children to school. So
yes.
They know they will have a meal.
And also make the children excited to come to school.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So there is a lot of work to be done. There are many things that need to be done with regard to this and ensuring that more children are in school. I mean, it goes back when one of the questions you asked was about the number of children that are out of school. I mean, you said 1 in every 5 children globally are Nigerians.
Yes.
1 in every 5 children that are out of school. I mean, gosh, as a nation, we need to do something about it. And within our own region, it's probably about the same. Maybe, I don't know, I wouldn't say worse, but it's probably about the same. We see a lot of children that are out of school.
So from your experience in the Niger Delta, is the Niger Delta unique in its experiences with children and youth?
When you say is the Niger Delta unique in terms of...
In its experiences with children and youth, like from your experience, from the things you have seen.
I think we have unique challenges, given the environment and the terrain. I've already said some places are hard to reach.
Yes.
Still very hard to reach. We've also had a lot of, turbulence and disruption in the region over the years for various reasons. So it's, the issues of children and youth are general across the country, but I think in the Niger Delta we do have unique experiences that we need to address specifically.
Okay.
I've talked about strengthening our family structures, the family unit. All around the world, actually, the family unit is unraveling. But I think in the Niger Delta, it seems more pronounced. You have less than 1 minute, but they need to take more responsibility. They need to be more intentional and, deliberate about getting knowledge and information themselves. So that
okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Annie. Thank you so much, but you'll still come up again to give us your last word. But then, when we talk about schools, when we talk about education for the people of the Niger Delta, even generally, it is sometimes heartbreaking that you go to the school sometimes and you even see, instead of children to be learning, you see them having other things. So I don't know if even the teachers are part of this. If we should also hold the teachers responsible for this. Okay, thank you so much still for your time. We'll be leaving the studio very soon, but like I said, she'll be back again to give us her final words before we leave the studio. So once again, I'm so sorry about that, Mrs. Annie, but because of time, I think I would like you to give us your message for the Niger Delta youth.
Well, there are 3 key things I would like to say. The first thing I would like to say is do not be a follower. Don't follow the crowd.
Okay.
Don't be part of the crowd. You don't have to be a loner, but don't be part of the crowd. There are positive things that you should try and be involved in.
Okay.
The second thing would be, I would say to them, find a mentor. Find a mentor, a role model, somebody, a responsible adult who will guide you. They will so much into your life.
Okay.
And help you, and maybe in some places help to open doors for you.
And finally,
I'd say you need to be very clear about the values that you will live by. What are your values? Values of honesty, integrity, ethics, hard work, discipline, the choices you make. These are the things that will guide the way you do things. They will guide your actions, your decisions. They will help to build your character. That's what I would like to say. That's what I'd like to say to any young person, and specifically to our youth in the Niger Delta.
All right, thank you very much. And this will bring us to the end of our show. But as you know, it is by no means the end of the discussion on how we can improve the Niger Delta. Thank you to all those who sent in their messages. A message just dropped now. You make sure that this was truly a roundtable. As we have been discussing the topic, Children's Day, an atmosphere for Niger Delta children to flourish. In a nutshell, this is what educationist, board member of Playpen Child Development Center, Port Harcourt, and human resources professional, Mrs. Ibia Ani, has been speaking about. Mrs. Ibia Ani, thank you so much for being our guest on the show today.
It has been a real pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
Okay. We also wish to thank our sponsors, the operator of the NNPC SPDC Total Energies, our Jeep joint venture, the Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria Limited, headquartered in Port Harcourt. And many thanks to you, our dearest listeners, for your active participation